Good day, viewers all over the world. Welcome to another edition of Quora Tabloid Podcast. My name is Musa Aliu, together with my colleague.
I am Fatima Bintu Diku. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Together on the Quora Tabloid Podcast, we are delighted and happy to have a young, vibrant blood who has been making national impact in his choosing area of endeavor. Permit me to welcome Ambassador Israel Akiola, the National Coordinator, Renewed Hope Alliance. Renewed Hope Youth Alliance, a support group of All Progressive Congress. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, Ambassador, please can you tell us briefly information about your background, about your profile?
First and foremost, I want to appreciate the organizers of this great program, the Tablet Podcast, for bestowing me the honor to be here today. So I really want to say a very big thank you. Taking it from the bottom line, the capture of the question says my background. Like you earlier said, I'm Ambassador Israel Akiola. For any introduction to the message, I'm the national coordinator of the Renewed Youth Alliance. Before I assumed this office, I have served in various organizations, both political and technocratic organizations. I served as the erstwhile National Secretary of the Jagaban Shatima Youth Movement. I also served as a member of the APC Youth Stakeholders Forum. I also served as a special advisor to the National Youth Leader of the All Progressive Congress and my technocratic audio. I'm a software engineer by profession. I have served as the Chief Operating Officer of the renowned digital payment processing software company in this country called Hometown Fintech. I just 2 years back, I stepped down my position as the Chief Executive Officer of a top cryptocurrency trading app called Culture App. Serving over 5 million users, and I served as the former Chief Youth Officer of the Tech to Grassroots Africa, bridging the digital divide. And I also served as I'm a student union leader for my involvement in national politics. I also served as a principal private secretary to the former NAS president, a person of Connie Pedro Chibuzo, a bona fide member, an unapologetic member of the All Progressive Congress, and a blood verified Baptist.
You are most welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, you've really talked about this. Can you now tell us your aims and objectives of Renewed Hope Youth Alliance? Please can you tell us your aims and objectives and why did you pick politics? You said you are an engineer, so why do you think politics?
So, thank you very much. I think your question is a two-layer question. Let me be strategic and answer it. So, the Renewed Hope Youth Alliance is an affiliate organization of the All Progressive Congress, a support group under the All Progressive Congress, duly recognized by the national leadership of our great party, with the aim of projecting the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu among the youth periscope. We are, of the objective we discovered that one of the before the president came on board as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and the grand commander of the Federal Republic, we discovered that Nigeria is facing five core problems. And there's something we call P2P, public-private partnerships. So for we to have the Nigeria we all aim for, both the government and the citizens has to come together to ensure that we make Nigeria the country we would love to have. So we discovered that one of the problems, one of the five problems attacking Nigeria as of then is citizens orientation. Nigerians are not well orientated about the activities of the government and what the government is doing. So we took the bull by the horn and took it upon ourselves as patriotic Nigerians and a member of the All Progressive Congress. Let me say initially not from the political aspect of it, to orientate citizens about what the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing in salvaging Nigeria from sinking. And one of the core objectives of the renewed agenda, the five agenda in the renewed agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is what we call the poverty amelioration. So we discovered that so many Nigerians are in debt into poverty. So poverty is a very big divide. In poverty we have digital division, we have lack of financial illiteracy, digital illiteracy, and so many of its kind. So we discovered that most of the activities of the government are being projected on social media, and the basic people that these activities are having a direct impact on don't even know about it. So we are going to the grassroots to orientate Nigerians about what the president is doing and about the renewed agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think that has answered your question. So, you mentioned that why do I pick politics over, my expertise as a software engineer? There was a quote by Sinek that says, "Interest is above all. Passion is the drive. For you to be successful, you have to have a drive, and you have to have a passion." I am not a politician because there's a stereotype about politicians. They are there to hit the money. I make my cool money even as a software engineer. I work with about 3 to 4 renewed organizations in the United Kingdom. I can say I was driven into politics because of my love for Nigeria. And we've had political apathy among youth. Youth don't want to be involved. We only have social media involvement. We don't have the physical involvement in politics, and which is the most necessary. If everybody is running away from politics, saying, "Yeah, we have bad acts in government," before any politician becomes a politician, they are one citizens. So as a citizen, I so much believe that the only way I can change the country is to be a part of the force that will change the country. And the major force that shapes the tapestry of our country is politics. Politicians rule us. They create the laws that we live by every day, and they implement these laws. So for me to be able to achieve my aim of changing Nigeria, I have to be part of politics. Politics is a beautiful thing to say when we even have a political juggernaut and an intellectually sagacious president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you.
And that was a very beautiful answer.
Yes, you keep mentioning changing Nigeria, and let me quickly ask you, as it is now, do you agree with insinuation outside that Nigeria has changed? That it has changed from bad to worse. Do you agree to that?
I don't think
under the present government.
I don't think I agree with that, because everything in life is about perspective.
Okay, the reason why many people say that has to do with the fact that, number one, the cost of living is becoming highly unavoidable to the majority of households in this country by virtue of increment or the removal of the fuel subsidy. Is that how to change Nigeria for better?
Yeah, thank you very much. Permit me to answer these questions in a bit. That is how to change Nigeria. There is the elders who say before the morning there is a night, and there's always a light at the end of what? Every tunnel. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is a visionary person. One of the testament to what I've said now is his boast help in removing fuel subsidy right on the day of his inauguration. You know, I mentioned earlier that there are 5 problems affecting Nigeria before this government came on board. One is we have a deficit in our oil revenue. The second is citizen orientation. The third is local government autonomy, lack of local government autonomy. The fourth is our monetary value. And the fifth is lack of good governance, which caps it. So, a visionary president that knows what is doesn't even need time to sit down and start making some unnecessary sketchboards that takes time. I'm a mathematician and I'm a businessman. I believe in profit and loss. And when you examine the oil expenditure, our oil expenditure and our oil revenue, in 2022, I can't really say the figures, but I can tell you we had about a large deficit in the oil sector in Nigeria because we had lesser revenue, more expenditure. I wouldn't make a profit or realism. In 2021, the same thing happened. 2020, the same thing. It has always been happening like that. And in business, as a businessman, when you are making loss every year, it's necessary for you to change your system. We cannot be paying for what we have. I'll still be losing at the end of the day. Where we have to be having, profit in oil revenue, we're having deficits. We are meant to be having surplus. The federal government is paying money, yet we are still running on losses. Why not remove this subsidy? And after the subsidy removal, you can make your research. We've been having surplus in the oil sector in Nigeria. But most of these things are not being evident because of some kleptomaniacs we have in power, some super corrupt individuals we have in power. Take off for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is attacking the problem at root, attacking these corrupt and kleptomaniac individuals, fighting kleptocracy and oligarchies in power. Now, he is also visionary and confident in his ability to change Nigeria. Do you think removing fuel subsidy is a child's play? Just come in and say fuel subsidy is gone. I have I'm privileged to have an information that the removal of fuel subsidy wasn't even part of the president's speech. But it was included because he is an economist, he's an accountant. He understands budget balance and budget balance and budget surplus. We are running on deficit. Why do we have to run the same system when we can change it? Why fake what can be real? So I believe that one of the giant steps of the president is removal of fuel subsidy. You cannot just, things that will have lasting impact on us cannot have quick comfort for us. We have to leave a comfort for a better comfort. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is envisioning a 30-year roadmap for Nigeria. You think 30 years is child's play? Whatever you have to be doing at year 1 has to be consistent to help you get the same result as year 30. Nigeria's problem never started with Tinubu. So why blame Tinubu for the recurrent problems we've been having? When someone is trying to change the narrative, trying to bring new ideas on board, and you would agree with me that bit by bit Nigeria is coming to shape. Yeah, the cost of living is getting higher, but our economy is getting stabilized. Our monetary value is picking form. Not in those years when you can wake up this morning Yesterday, dollar was 1,000 naira. Tomorrow is 1,500.
Dollar has never reached 1,000 naira.
No,
Price
let's
is
just
up.
say I'm just making,
Okay, Go.
an illustration.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are having a consistent, value for our money. Today, now, when you are going out, if not recently, when we are having global trends that have been affecting our country also indirectly, because you would agree with me that majority oil is, a general commodity of the world, and most of this commodity has index that control them, global indexes that control them. Even if you mine, you find fuel in your house, there are global index that controls things, and once the global index is affected, the generality of the resources is affected. Just like gold, if you mine gold in your house, you can sell it for a discounted rate. Let's say for an ignorant person, let's say an illiterate that just found gold, she can sell it for 5,000 naira. But anybody she's selling it for, if the person is selling it on the global market, they are buying it for what? The flat rate on what? On the index. Poor people don't know this. Only rich and exposed people understand this. So I don't blame people that are shouting here and there that Nigeria is not working. Nigeria is working. You don't just understand the economy of our country. It takes, Rome is not built in a day. It takes, drops to make an ocean. It takes years to build a country. You don't build a country in 6 months. Not a country that is as dilapidated as Nigeria, that's been a victim of a lot of bad government, a lot of corrupt politicians in time past. Now we have a president that's trying to change the narrative. We are fighting the president just because we are passing through a little case that will eventually result to unending joy. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Thank you very much.
All right, and that brings me to the next question. In your submission, you mentioned something on the issue of surplus on the Nigerians' oil revenue. But I want to draw your attention to something. The NNPC at its seat, prior to the subsidy removal or even before that, one thing we were told is that Nigerian refineries will work.
Yeah.
And as it is, none of these refineries is working, except for what and private individual Dangote has brought to this country. Now, that takes me to the next question. That has to do with the global indexing of the oil pricing. I remember vividly, we had on radio and television a manager, the national control manager of Dangote Oil, telling Nigerian people that the refinery, Dangote refinery, don't have access to Nigerian crude oil. He assessed that from the global market. Now, we'll ask you this question. For a refinery that is meant to serve the people of the country, why must they go to the global market to go and buy at an high price when this is just directly under our soil? And mind you, the finance minister said just last week that the government of Nigeria will not tamper with the demand and supply of oil. Why should that be the case when everybody knows that nothing in this country is not hindered on the fuel price? Everything in the country is hindered on that. What do you have to say about that?
Thank you very much for that question. Permit me to say, the oil and gas sector is a very complex sector. That it takes extraordinary wisdom and knowledge to understand. You don't just decode things by seeing them from afar. The shoe looks little until you are in it. I think Nigerian government has been so favorable to Dangote because monopolizing the entire refining of crude oil in this country to support an indigenous organization, an indigenous refinery, is something we need to give kudos to the government for. And let me say, the government as it is supporting Dangote refinery. And it is important for us to note that Dangote refinery as it is understands the oil and gas sector very well. That is why they are in the market. If the market isn't favorable to them, they would not be in it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And if the market isn't favorable to Nigerians, the Nigerian government will not support Dangote refinery. So I would not want to believe that the claim by
The manager that they access crude oil from the international market is false. Is that what you are
I
saying?
would not want to believe the claim. Because it's a private organization. They are not there because of me. They are there because of profit. But the government is telling me they are not holding the demand of oil. I will believe the government that is telling me.
That means government is not supplying him.
They might say government is not supplying. But
That is the bitter truth.
But the government, we are not involved. We are only saying it from an overview.
The government is not involved.
No, like
You are part of the government.
we are not.
You are the national coordinator.
I'm not I'm not in the oil and gas sector.
But you are in the government.
I'm not an apprentice of the government. I am only a supporter of the government. I'm only a supporter of the government.
Please let me-
You support what you
I'm a
know.
member of the
Really that you
government.
know everything.
I don't know everything. Only God knows all.
Let me ask you a question before we go. While you were telling us about your background, you never told me the part of the country you came from.
Yes.
Can you tell me that?
Okay. I'm a Kwara.
Thank you.
I'm from the North Central region of
Thank you so
Nigeria.
much.
And I'm also from Kwara South, or the local government to be precise. Kwara South, which is the home of great leaders
Whatever.
and potentials.
Then
I would love to mention, quite a number of great leaders are from
you
Kwara
will
South.
mention them. Let me ask the last question before you now mention them. The elders we should start you because are home.
Yeah.
What are those things you've done for Kwara South or for your local government?
All
Let's
right.
know.
Thank you very much. Like I said earlier, I was a part of an organization called Tech to Grassroots Africa, which is charged. We are aiming to do 16 e-libraries across the 16 local governments in Kwara State. You can confirm yes, the e-library was built by this organization. I was the brain behind the setting up of the Kwara e-library and the Kwara State Library Complex. So we've done things for the youth populace in this country, in this state, and also we thank God for leaders like Engineer Sunday Babalola,
Wow.
who has been doing tremendous things for the youth populace, and we are involved, even though we are not the financiers, but we are involved in incorporating youth and helping them create a better life, and also helping their development. So we are part of the grassroots, and we are helping the grassroots through the help of great men of philanthropies like the earlier mentioned Engineer Sunday Babalola. Thank you very much.
While he said something that we have to go back to. You've been saying youth sensitization. How well have you been doing that in Kwara South?
We've done quite a lot of youth sensitization in Kwara South.
And are you saying youths have really joined?
Yes. The Renewed Hope Youth Alliance has over 200 members, 200,000 members
At where? National or regional or at the...
at all levels of government. At the national level, at the state levels, at the local government level. Government is not complete without the grassroots. So we have more members at the grassroots even than the national level. We are from the grassroots. I'm from Ekwe. I grew up in Kwara. I grew up in Ekwe. I'm a member of the grassroots. Privilege and grace as well as the national politics. And so we cannot forget the tapestry of where we came from. It's our roots. And so we have, let me say, recruited so many youths in the grassroots and sensitized them about the policies of the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So many conferences and town sensitization meetings done within Kwara South, to sensitize the youth about, let's say, about the policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the, credit card, NEL fund, super, a lot of, initiative by a wonderful president that has a dynamic and direct impact on the Nigerian youth and the Nigerian state.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Israel Akiola, for a wonderful submission and for giving us full details about Renew Hope Youth Alliance, which you are the national coordinator. We hope when we call on you subsequently, you are going to oblige us
Definitely.
with your response. The
Definitely.
people of Kwara State and Nigeria wants to hear from you.
Definitely.
They want to hear from somebody as young, as youthful as you are,
Yeah.
so that they can have one or two things to learn from.
Yeah.
So, on behalf of all of us at Kwara Tabloid Podcast, we really appreciate you for finding time to be here with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Tabloid.
Of Kwara Tabloid Podcast, my name is Musa Aliu, together with my
And
colleague.
I'm Fatima Bintu Deko. Thank you for joining us.
So, have a nice day and bye bye.
All right.